Hi, I'm just a regular guy who drives a truck for a living, and today I want to share an experience that happened to me some time ago. This happened on a dark and stormy night while driving down a lonely road. It was one of those nights when the rain poured down as if it wanted to break the windshield of my truck. My headlights barely managed to penetrate the darkness that enveloped the road, and shadows danced at the edges of my field of vision. I was exhausted, fighting sleep as the monotonous sound of the drops repeatedly hit my vehicle. Suddenly, something caught my attention in the gloom. At the edge of the road, in the shadows and rain, I made out a figure. I didn't know what it was, but its presence made me uneasy. It seemed to be waiting for something, and that made my hair stand on end. After a moment's hesitation, I decided to stop to see if he needed help. As I got closer, the figure loomed as a woman. She was soaking wet and shivering as if she had been standing there for hours. I offered her help, and her shaky voice told me that her car had broken down and she needed to get to the nearest town. The rain and darkness did not allow me to see her face well, but something in her tone made me uncomfortable. Despite my reservations, I opened the passenger door and asked him to get in. As we moved forward, the conversation became strange. His words were barely audible over the sound of rain on the roof of the truck, and his answers were evasive. I tried to offer her additional help, such as calling someone or taking her to a gas station, but she responded with vague mumbles and dodged my questions. Discomfort grew in the truck, but the road remained deserted and the rain was relentless. Suddenly, the woman became nervous. She begged me to stop the truck and let her off. When I asked her why, she looked at me with panicked eyes and claimed she had the wrong truck, that it was not the one she was waiting for. Confused but relieved that she wanted to leave, I pulled over to the shoulder. As soon as she got out, I watched her speed away down the road, disappearing into the rain and darkness. I sat there, trying to figure out what had just happened. It was then that I noticed something on the ground near where she had been standing. As I got closer, I discovered a small, metallic object. It was a chain with a pendant. Shining my flashlight on it, I saw that it was a locket with a photo. The photo showed the woman, but not as I saw her a few minutes ago. She was smiling next to a man. The same woman, but with a terrifying difference. In the photo, she was dead. This left me stunned and really scared. I didn't understand what was going on, but I knew I had to get away from there. I started the truck and kept driving until I reached the nearest town. The image of the medallion and the woman's terrified expression continued to haunt me. In the days that followed, I could not get the strange experience out of my mind. The highway of despair, I called it. Every time I drive down a lonely road at night, I can't help but remember that dark, rainy night, wondering what dark secrets lurk in the darkness of the road. I researched the medallion image online, hoping to find some answer to the strange story. After days of fruitless searching, I decided to go to the police. I told them the story, showed them the picture of the medallion, and gave them all the details I could remember. But, to my surprise, they found no matches with missing persons or criminal cases. Although the police could offer no explanation, my curiosity and fear continued to grow. I began searching for information about the road itself, hoping to find similar stories. I discovered that, over the years, there had been occasional reports of strange encounters on that particular road. Stories of people seeing unusual figures or experiencing unexplained phenomena. Each account added a new level of unease to my own experience. Was the road some kind of portal to the unknown? Or was there something more sinister lurking in the darkness? I became obsessed with uncovering the truth, but each time I tried to follow the trail, it seemed the answers vanished between my fingers. The nights became unsettling for me. Every time I drove down a lonely road, a sense of dread would come over me. I constantly looked around, expecting to see another figure in the darkness, wondering if it would be someone else stuck on the road of despair. The medallion became a constant reminder of that night. Although I tried to get rid of it several times, it always came back to me in some inexplicable way. I began to doubt my own sanity, questioning whether what I experienced was real or simply a figment of my imagination worn out by fatigue and stress. My friends and family noticed my change. I had lost weight, my eyes were somber, and my laughter had become nervous. I tried to explain to them what happened, but their skeptical looks made me feel more alone in my search for answers. One night, months after the incident, I decided to return to the road of despair. I armed myself with my flashlight and camera, determined to document anything strange I could find. With every step I took, the feeling of being watched intensified. I scoured the road for clues, recording every detail. But as I progressed, the darkness seemed to close in around me. Shadows moved in unusual ways, and the sounds of the night took on an ominous tone. Suddenly, the flashlight flickered and went out. I was plunged into darkness, sensing a presence nearby. An unintelligible whisper echoed in the air, as if something was trying to communicate with me. Fear paralyzed me, and a shiver ran down my spine. At that moment, I saw a figure in the distance. A shadow slowly materializing. It was the woman with the medallion, with the same terrifying expression on her face. Paralyzed with fear, I could not look away. The figure slowly approached, her eyes piercing my soul. As it moved, I could see the wounds on its body, as if it had suffered a violent death. I tried to back away, but my legs were unresponsive. Then the figure disappeared, dissolving into the darkness. The flashlight came on again, and I found myself alone on the deserted road. Terrified and trembling, I realized that the truth of the road of despair was beyond what I could understand. From that night on, I avoided that road like the plague. The medallion mysteriously disappeared from my life, but the experience left an indelible scar on my mind. I don't know what dark force lurks on the road of despair, but I do know that there are things in this world beyond our comprehension. This story is my warning to those who venture into the unknown. The highway of despair may seem quiet and ordinary, but beneath its surface lies a mystery that defies logical explanation. Beware, night travelers, and remember that in the dark, the truth can be more terrifying than we imagine.